Hi, this is Kevin Crowd again. I am going to talk today about the Levi and Mosiah Hancock journal excerpts. We published this book. This is done by Pioneer Publishing. It's also on a website that's called BOAP, Book of Abraham Project at BYU.org. And you can go on there, and they actually have several new journals that are quite impressive, and this particular one is on their website. Out of all the journals probably in Mormon history, this one has some of the most valuable resources and valuable material in it. My father asked me to put this two together, both Levi and Mosiah together, so that we could have them, their whole family, I of which am a descendant of him. Okay, so now this is an addendum in the back. This is a vision given to Mosiah Hancock. He was praying concerning questions, plural marriage, other things, you know, that's always a big, deep subject, plural marriage. And so he had a vision of the pre-earth life. He saw Lucifer and what had happened, how we came down. Let's see here. When dusk closed, they were arranged in classes of about 200. The males sitting in front and the females behind them. They were taught in the arts and sciences and everything necessary to make the heart happy. The teachers of the classes received their instruction, then parted from certain notable ones, who in turn got the directions from the Father and the Son. I thought I was one to overlook the classes. I also saw Joseph Brigham and many others engaged in this work of education. I thought as some became more efficient than others, they were advanced from class to class. I thought my name was Mosiah, and the names of the other brethren were there the same as upon the earth. All at once there was a great gathering of spirits, and the voice of the great eternal, for that is what we called God there, spoke, O ye my children, and his voice penetrated throughout space, so countless were his offspring. We have an earth prepared for you, on which you can dwell and have a chance to come up through obeying our heavenly laws. And then there was a question that happened, and then it kind of goes through and describes Lucifer and what had. Finally Lucifer openly rebelled against the Father and the Son and 6 other mighty ones who stood faithful with them and declared, I will have it my way. I saw the faithful ones gather around the Father and the Son, and Lucifer's workers gathered around him. When one of the notable ones, who was called Michael, arose and said, we will decide this contest. It seemed that a platform was expended into space and upon which we could operate. By what power I could not tell. We who were faithful to the Father and the Son had a white star upon us, and the others chose a red star. Isn't that interesting? America, white star, China, Russia. Okay, but withdrew from the conflicts. The females, taking the males by the arm, said, come, let us not take part with either side, let us retire. When they were cast out after the manner of spiritual welfare, they had no power to return. When they were all cleared from the platform and Satan and his followers were all cast down, their female companions wept, and we all wept. And this is a very important part right here. He says, no females took part against the Father and the Son, but all took sides in their favor, except the neutral ones already mentioned. After tears were dried from our eyes, the voice of the great eternal spoke again and said, hear, O ye my children. His voice penetrated the immensity of space, so that all could hear. It is decreed by the great eternal that the females shall not follow their males in their banishment. But for every male that has kept his first estate and followed valiantly for the Father and the Son, there are 2 females. Again, it is declared that those males who have taken no part in this great conflict shall keep their females, and a race of servants shall they be. I then saw that the notable ones who had taken such an interest in the rights of the Father and Son were appointed to gather up those lone females whose companions had been cast down. They were again placed in classes, and then each man having 2 females in their ranks behind him. I there saw that they were again taught in their classes, which now contained about 300. I next saw Michael and his companion proceed a long way off to people the earth where Lucifer and his followers had been cast. And so anyway, this is kind of interesting excerpts. This is for his version of what happened in heaven. There's also an interesting point and that is that there's a doctrine taught in early Mormonism, and we'll go into that in detail and describe that more about the three wives here on the earth. Mosiah, Hancock Journal.